Hi friends, today we are going to talk about watercolors and painting through the mess. So if you ever reach the point where painting you think this is a mess, I probably should stop, keep going, add another layer, add some splatter to it, push it a little further. You might actually be surprised at how that shows up on the other side of that mess.
Hi everyone. All right, as you can see, I am back home in our Mississippi mansion. I like to call it my mansion, but it's our Leah mansion. It's just a really big old 1900s Victorian home. So I feel like I live in a Barbie house, but missing the beach already. We were concerned about tornado weather, so we actually left a day early from the beach because we wanted to make sure that we didn't have to drive in that. Well, we didn't have to drive in it, but once we got home, crossed like the whole south again. We've just been having weather like crazy. I mean, March is usually bad anyway. Last year we had tornado warnings. We actually had a storm chaser staying with us last year. We're watching it, and sure enough, we had tornado watches, which is not a warning. Tornado watch, tornado warning, and there are two different things. Tornado watch means that there is activity that could produce tornadoes. In our area, it was really bad. We had severe wind, and they were talking about gusts that were like 70 miles an hour. All of a sudden, the sky was lighting up, and you could see where it was coming towards us. And I heard the gust of wind. It was so bad. It like almost like it could feel it go through the house, come in one side and out the other. And he said upstairs, and this is, mind you, almost a 5,000 square foot house. He said the room was actually moving upstairs. And this house is, built 1900. So it was pretty wild. So he comes running down the stairs, and as soon as he got downstairs, we heard this big boom, and we're like, what was that? We're trying to figure out where the noise came from. So we look outside the back porch area, couldn't see anything. So I went out onto the deck in the middle of all of this. I thought a tree had fallen on the house. And so I'm looking around. I don't see a tree, but I look down over our porch. The whole railing of our Victorian upstairs railing, the porch, came right off. It like blew it right off onto the ground. So we have like all of these pieces, and I'll show you a picture down below with what they look like. So we have to get a new railing. Luckily, that's all that happened. We didn't have any leaks. We didn't have any other damage. Thank goodness. Yeah, that was pretty wild. So we came home to that. I was working with our insurance company, all that fun stuff this morning. We have to get a claim in, and they've got to come out and take a look at it. But anyway, so this week kind of started off with a bang. So it's really funny because this week I'm also doing the bird's nest, which is all about a mess and being messy and not stressing over the mess. So I'm not only not stressing over the bird's nest, I'm not going to stress over all of this fun stuff that we've got going on. I hope your week is going well. We're going to talk about this, so stick around. And if you want to watch the full tutorial, it is up on my Patreon channel. And thank you so much to my patrons again for all of your support.
So you know that moment watercolor when everything starts to look like a total mess? Yeah, the colors are bleeding everywhere, the shapes aren't making any sense, and you're thinking, what am I doing? That moment right there, that's where most people stop or give up. But today, I want to show you something a little different. That's how I painted through this mess. This little bird's nest painting started exactly like that. I had messy layers, I tried splatters, I did some loose lines, and honestly, there wasn't much structure with this one at all, especially at the beginning. And I'll tell you something, that is kind of the point. I have done this one before, and you can check it out. It was over 7 years ago where I was loose. I did a lot of pen and ink in this one, and I liked it. So I was trying to do something a little more loose for this one. I wanted to get messy, get wild. We've been doing a lot of 5-minute warm up paintings. If you haven't had a chance to check out why it's so important to do these 5-minute paintings, I do have a video on that and I will link it down below for you. And it's a great thing, especially for beginners, to help you loosen up. So when you're painting something like a nest, it doesn't have to be perfect, right? A nest is naturally just chaos. There are twigs crossing over each other, little bits of grass, pieces sticking out everywhere, but it's beautiful. It's like a beautiful chaos. And if you actually look at one close up, and I had nests with eggs in them, for the past 2 years in my fern plants when I went to take them down to water them. And I was amazed at how intricate these little nests were at the beginning before the eggs were even put in there. They were building it. They had some flowers in there. They had some greenery. I mean, it was just so pretty until, the babies are born and then, well, then it's another story. But instead of trying to control everything for that beautifulness, and every brushstroke, I wanted to let the watercolor move things. I did a little spritzing. I used a dagger brush so that it could be very loose and messy. And I started it with just using some basic colors. So you can see here I have some browns, I have some grays, blues, and I just wanted to start building that tangled feeling of branches. So I'm not worried about making a perfect circle. I'm just, suggesting movement at this point. And one thing that helps with messy paintings is to work in layers. So at first, things look super muddy and confusing, and there's no depth to it. But as I start to add darker twigs, I dry it, I add some lighter branches, a little splatter of paint, and all of that is going to help me build texture. And this is also where I loosen up even more. So I will add splatters, some loose lines. Sometimes I'll grab a pen, like a white pen works great, black pen. For this one, I use Dr. Martin's bleed proof white at the very end to just kind of brighten things up, make it a little bit more alive because I went pretty dark. And honestly, at the first point in the stage, it looked pretty wild. But if you keep going, something interesting happens and the eye starts to find its subject. Now, this is totally overpainted for watercolor. I will say I didn't leave a lot of light space in here. But for this painting, I think for me, the moment happens when I added the eggs. That was the part where I was like, okay, we've got these little soft blue shapes in here that instantly gives the viewer something to focus on. And then suddenly all that chaos around them kind of starts to make sense. So, you could think of the nest as becoming a frame of the whole piece of art. And that's one of my favorite watercolor tricks. You let the background and the textures stay loose and messy, but you give the viewer one calm focal point. So you can see as I added a little bit of bleed proof white to some pinks and some greens for some leaves, flowers in there. This is where it starts to come alive for me. I think the eggs are soft, they're simple, they're quiet compared to all the movement around them. And just adding the little hints of leaves and flowers around the nest works for me. Now, not a lot, you just need a touch of the greens, the purples, and the pinks just to break up the brown a little bit. And I would call this more like mixed media because I got really thick with some of the watercolor paints by adding the bleed proof white to it. But when things get really dark like that, there's ways of still fixing your watercolors so that you can have an outcome that you're happy with. So these pops of color just help guide the eye around the painting a little bit more. And another thing I love about working this way is that, I mean, every painting turns out different, right? You're not copying something perfectly. So you are responding to the paint, you're responding to the water, the marks that happen naturally on your paper. So this like chaos, loose messiness somehow works. And some of the best textures in watercolor happen this way or by accident, a splash, a drip, a brush stroke that went wild somewhere, became unexpected. So instead of fighting those moments, just try leaning into them. And I think that's where watercolor really starts to feel fun again. And honestly, sometimes the messiest paintings end up being some of the most interesting ones because they have all that energy, have that movement. They feel a little bit wild, just like watercolor should. So if you ever reach the point where painting you think this is a mess, I probably should stop, try doing the opposite. Keep going. Add another layer, add some splatter to it, push it a little further. You might actually be surprised at how that shows up on the other side of that mess. So if you enjoy painting loose like this, I share a lot more watercolor techniques and full tutorials on my Patreon membership and in my online classes. And if you want to practice quick exercises like this, try setting a timer, painting for 5 minutes or so. It's one of the best ways you can loosen up and let watercolor do its thing. So thanks for painting along. or just listening, and I will see you in the next video. Happy painting. Have a great week. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell button for notifications.